Welcome back to the Oakland Athletics franchise here as we have finished up the month of May. So this is the May recap as we will be heading into the month of June now. And at the end of May, our Oakland Athletics are sitting at 30-22 on the season, which is good enough for first place in the American League West. I believe we were not in first, we were like just out of first and second at the end of April. But now we have made our way into first place and we have a few game lead on everybody else. Texas has a 2.5. They're 2.5 games behind. Houston is 5.5 games behind. The Angels are 6.5 games behind. And Seattle is 8.5 games behind. So we have a pretty commanding lead. I mean, Texas is right behind us pretty much, but I'm pretty happy with us being in first place at the end of May heading into June. So moving on to the league leaders, or some of our guys who are like top in the league in something. Jose Abreu has picked things up, and he is now hitting .268 with a .320 OBP and a .531 slugging with 13 home runs and 37 RBI. And he is top 5 in doubles, home runs, and RBI. He is tied for 4th in doubles with 16 on the season so far. He is tied for 5th in home runs, and he is also 4th in RBI in the American League. On the pitching side of things, Sonny Gray has the most wins in the American League with 7 on the season, but his ERA isn't exactly impressive. He's coming off a Cy Young season in 2019, and he's 7-2, which is a great record, but he's getting that because he's getting run support, and he's not exactly pitching how he was last season, as he has a 3.99 ERA and a 1.33 WHIP, which isn't exactly impressive. As far as the rest of the pitching staff goes, they're pretty much pitching the same thing. Nobody else is really pitching outstandingly. Nobody else is really getting the job done. They're not having this ridiculous season like they were last year. They're just getting run support and getting the job done, as J.R. Newman is 5-4 with a 4.24. Kevin Gausman is 5-2 with a 3.54 ERA. And then Hyun-Jin Ryu is 3-3 with a 3.57 ERA. So none of the guys are really doing anything spectacular. They're all got like average ERAs with a decent or good record. And we're in first place despite it. On the hitting side of things, Kyle Schwarber is hitting .250, 5 home runs, and 18 RBI, which is much improved from April, as he was really struggling in April. I think he was hitting about like 160, 170, 180, something like that. I believe it was under 200, but he's definitely picked it up since then. The power numbers haven't really shown up yet, as he only has 5 home runs through 2 months of the season, but the average numbers are starting to pick up, so hopefully the power numbers start to catch up as well. Matt Olson is another guy who is definitely much improved in the first month of the season, as I believe at the end of April, he was hitting like 160, but he led the league in walks. So he still had like a 320 OBP despite him hitting like 150 or 160. But now he's hitting 253 with 5 home runs and 27 ribbies, which is much improved from April. Like I said, he just couldn't hit. He was just basically drawing a ton of walks, and now he's doing both. So that's good to see from Matt Olson, as he's currently on fire. Eric Pedroza is a guy who is very, very, very disappointing in my opinion. He is such a great overall and an A potential. He's very young, but it's just so annoying that he's hitting .233 with 2 home runs and 11 RBI, but it's just so disappointing that he's such a high overall and he just can't hit at all, and he's really not that good of a player because really the only thing he does is field. Now I know shortstop is a position where you can get away with somebody who really only fields, but I don't personally like that. I don't personally like getting a position where guys can only field and they can't hit worth a lick. And I'm not exactly a fan of that. I'm not a fan of having an Andrelton Simmons type player or a I'm not sure who else I could name here. But you guys know what I mean. I'm not a fan of having that. I'd rather have a guy who can get a good average, who can drive in runs, who can hit a couple home runs. I'd rather have that than a guy who's just spectacular in the field, but he can't hit worth a lick. And Pedroza's that. Even though he's got a great overall, it's because the show, their ratings heavily favor fielding. So a guy who has like a 92 fielding rating, but he has like 40s in contact and power and like vision and discipline, he's gonna be like a mid-80s overall because he's got like 92 fielding, and even though he can't hit worth a lick. So it's just disappointing, and I'm actually thinking that he might possibly be trade bait at the deadline. We'll see when we get to that point of the season. We still have a few months to go, but he might be trade bait at the deadline. Avery Romero is a guy who's going to be getting some more at-bats in the upcoming months, as he's hitting .337 with 4 home runs and 11 ribbies and 89 at-bats so far on the season. He's only playing against left-handers right now because he has 93 contact against them, but he still has like a high 70 contact versus righties. And really, nobody else is really putting up spectacular numbers at the positions he plays, so might as well give him some shots. And Avery Romero is going to get some spot starts here and there against righties, and he's going to continue hitting against lefties. And hopefully he can continue his production into the future months of the season. Franklin Barreto is another guy who is very disappointing. He's hitting 167. Now, I know he only has 30 at-bats on the season, but Franklin Barreto just isn't very good. He's still young, he's still got to be potential, but he's just not very good. I'm also thinking he could be possible trade bait at the deadline, because he's out of options. So if I want to send him down to AAA and get him some more at-bats down there, I would have to basically just take a shot that he's not going to get picked up through waivers. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think if I put him on waivers and try to DFA him and send him down to AAA, I think he's instantly going to get picked up. So I don't really want to try that. I'd much rather get value out of him by trading him, because, well, he's just frankly not good enough to get any playing time at the Major League level. On the outfield side of things, Juan Lagares was sent down at the end of April to work on his game, I guess, in AAA, and he's hitting .316 with 14 runs and 11 RBI and 98 at-bats in AAA, so he's hitting pretty well. He could possibly be called back up if someone on the outfield starts struggling, but he's not exactly to be rushed up to the big leagues. He's not exactly a guy I'm just, like, drooling over to call up. If someone gets hurt or if someone needs to be replaced, he could be a possible replacement. But the guy who will not be getting replaced is Sean Andino, as he was awful for the first month of the season. He was hitting like 140, he just wasn't walking, he wasn't doing anything. He had a decent amount of power numbers, but he's really turned things around, as he basically boosted up his average by 100 points. He's now hitting .241 with 7 home runs, 19 RBI, and 7 stolen bases in the season. So Sean Andino's really turned things around, and he's going to continue to be a solid outfielder for us. Mark West is a guy who is in AAA and is absolutely raking. This guy is hitting .373 with 6 home runs, 37 RBI, 9 stolen bases in AAA. He's just raking. Nobody can contain this guy in AAA. He's just hitting everything, everywhere. He slaps the ball all fields. I've done a prospect profile on him. He's just a great all-around contact bat. He's got some decent speed. He's an average fielder. And honestly, I was thinking he might be a possible call-up if someone struggles, but he's hitting so well in AAA, it's almost wasting his bat in AAA. So if he continues to hit like this for a few more weeks, then he might find his way into the Major League lineup somehow. But with that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap things up here for this May 2020 recap here in the Oakland Athletics franchise. We'll be heading into the month of June, first place in the AL West now. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.